these we're just going to touch on, to be honest. Some of them we've already talked about when we talked about inviting people to your network. And some of them, so we've got inviting people. We talked about number one. Introductions we'll touch on. Sending to group members we touched on last week. And then the fourth one is the premium messaging feature of LinkedIn called Invite People if you have the premium version, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But again, we'll touch on those. This is what we're going to cover, so I'm showing you the agenda, the topics. We're going to talk about these 6 ways to find people on LinkedIn. So a lot to do. Let's go ahead and get started. Concept first. All right, 300 million people on LinkedIn. That's your gigantic haystack. You're looking for a particular needle based on that criteria that you just wrote down. So conceptually, what we're going to do is start with something like a title. Maybe it's a VP of Marketing, and I'm going to do a search for a VP of Marketing titles and find out that in the United States there's 85,000 of those. As I would go on, I might want to narrow that down to a geographic radius, perhaps if I'm looking in a metro area. If I do that search and I was searching in the Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, I find about 5,000 of them in that area. Now, we could add some other criteria in there along the way, but the really, really important last criteria that I want you guys in is your second level connections, right? Your second level relationship, because if they're in your second level, that means you can get a introduction to them. And look at the numbers here. Of the 2,400 marketing VPs in Northern California, I had second level relations to almost 2,200 of them, right? That's an incredibly high percentage. That's pretty much because I run around in the sales and marketing circles of Northern California, but that just gives you a feel for the power of LinkedIn and growing your network, because the bigger you grow the network, the higher percentage of those 2,400 people you're going to be related to in level 1. All right, it's time to go do it now. I'm going to jump over here to LinkedIn, and I'm just going to go searching for some VPs of marketing. So the way we're going to do it, let me bump this up one time for you, make it just a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do is we come into our LinkedIn homepage. I'm going to come to the very top where there's a big, well, there's always this big search box, but I'm not going to use the sort of simple search box. I'm going to come over to the right of this blue magnifying glass, and I'm going to click on this little tiny word that says advanced. Now, because I have the premium version, my interface may look a little different than yours, but they're all sort of basically the same in giving you some of these data fields to search upon.